Hello and welcome. I want you to think about the last time you felt truly stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed. In that moment, it probably felt like your brain was working against you. But what if I told you that your brain has a secret superpower? A superpower that ancient philosophers discovered over 2,000 years ago, and that neuroscience is only now beginning to fully understand. This isn't about becoming emotionless. This is about unlocking a more resilient, intelligent version of yourself. Today, we're merging the timeless wisdom of Stoicism with cutting-edge psychology and neuroscience to give you something truly new. Beyond the quotes, the modern Stoic revival. The quotes of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca are everywhere today. But this revival is more than a trend. Since 2020, search data shows a massive surge in interest, particularly among young professionals. But here's the critical gap most people miss: the difference between pop Stoicism and the profound psychological system that inspired modern therapy. Recently, psychologists decided to put Stoicism to the test. Researchers like Alexander McClellan at the University of Bath conducted some of the first rigorous studies. They trained people in core Stoic practices and measured the results. The findings weren't just positive, they were transformative. The Science of Serenity. What the research found. After just a few weeks of Stoic training, practices like the evening review and pre-meditation of evils, participants showed remarkable changes. The data revealed an 18% reduction in rumination, that exhausting cycle of negative thoughts, which is a huge predictor of depression. They also experienced a 15% increase in self-efficacy, their belief in their own ability to handle challenges. When researchers analyzed their journal entries, the language itself had become significantly less anxious and more positive. But crucially, the study highlighted a vital distinction. This genuine Stoic practice is completely different from what researchers call naïve Stoic ideology, that stiff upper lip approach of simply suppressing emotions. That naive approach actually has a negative impact on well-being. The real ancient Stoicism is about wise self-regulation, not suppression. And that's where the real magic happens inside your brain. The neurological mechanism. Your brain's Stoic superpower. So, what's actually happening in your brain? Recent research published in Frontiers in Psychology points to a fascinating concept called second-order desires. Think of it this way. Your first-order desires are your immediate, automatic reactions. The thought, "This setback is a disaster," or "I can't handle this criticism." That's your limbic system, your emotional brain, triggering a threat response. Second-order desires are your brain's ability to reflect on those initial impulses. It's the part of you that can say, "Okay, I notice I'm having the thought that this is a disaster. But is that truly accurate? What's a more balanced perspective?" This is the core of the Stoic practice of examining your impressions. And neurologically, this practice strengthens the critical neural pathways between your prefrontal cortex, the rational planning center of your brain, and your limbic system, the emotional center. You're not shutting down emotion, you're building a better communication system between the CEO and the emotional heart of your company. Let's make this practical. Imagine facing an unexpected setback. Your automatic brain would trigger the amygdala, flooding your body with stress hormones as it screams, "Threat." But a Stoic-trained brain responds differently. It engages the prefrontal cortex to contextualize the challenge, viewing it as difficult, but ultimately manageable. Or consider receiving critical feedback. The limbic system of the automatic brain often interprets this as a personal attack, leading to immediate defensiveness. In contrast, the Stoic approach uses cognitive distancing, allowing you to step back and objectively assess the feedback for any useful elements you can learn from. Finally, think about future uncertainty. The brain's default mode network loves to generate catastrophic what-if scenarios, spinning you into anxiety. A Stoic-trained mind, however, employs a technique like negative visualization. This prepares you mentally for potential challenges, but crucially, it does so while maintaining a balanced perspective, preventing the spiral of anxiety. So, as you can see, it's not about eliminating reactions, but about upgrading your response system. Practical Stoicism. Rewiring your daily life. This isn't just theory, this is a trainable skill. Here are 2 powerful techniques backed by both philosophy and science that you can start using today. First, let's upgrade the classic Stoic evening review. Don't just ask, "What did I do wrong today?" Instead, ask, "What unhelpful judgments did I make today, and how did they form in my mind?" For example, did you interpret a delayed email as personal disrespect? Tracing the judgment back to its origin builds metacognition, your ability to think about your thinking, and actively rewires those neural pathways. Second, master cognitive distancing through language. This is incredibly simple yet powerful. When a stressful thought arises, don't fight it. Just add 4 words to the beginning. I'm having the thought that. So instead of, "This project will fail," you say, "I'm having the thought that this project might fail." This tiny linguistic shift creates crucial psychological space. It allows you to see the thought as a mental event, not an absolute truth, giving your prefrontal cortex a chance to step in and choose a wiser response. This is precisely why Stoicism was the direct inspiration for cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. Psychologists like Albert Ellis and Aaron Beck explicitly credited Stoic philosophy as the foundation for what is now one of the world's most evidence-based therapeutic methods. You are essentially practicing a form of ancient, proven CBT. Conclusion: the path to a Stoic brain. The most empowering message from this research is that Stoicism isn't about personality, it's about practice. It's not about who you are, but what you repeatedly do. The neurological benefits, reduced rumination, increased resilience, better emotional regulation, are the result of consistent training. It's like building a muscle. Researchers have found that self-control isn't a finite resource that runs out. It's a capacity that can be expanded through belief, grit, and disciplined repetition. The ancient Stoics were ultimately right about the mind, even without our modern scientific language. What they called the discipline of assent, carefully evaluating our impressions before accepting them as truth, we can now call strengthening, prefrontal regulation of limbic responses. Different vocabulary, but the same powerful, life-changing practice. If this fusion of ancient wisdom and modern science resonated with you, and you want to continue this journey of building a more resilient mind, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I would love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, what's one situation in your life where understanding this difference between your first reaction and your second, reflective response could help you? Thank you for watching. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Go out and build your Stoic brain.